Right now on Jamaica News Page tonight, deadly confrontations with police. 5 men fatally shot in separate incidents in Clarendon and Manchester after alleged gun battles with law enforcement. Tonight, what police say happened and the growing number of deaths in reported confrontations with security forces. Also tonight, a shock in Westmoreland. A well-known businessman is dead in what investigators suspect may be self-harm. The community remembering a man many describe as generous and deeply respected. And tragedy after weeks of fighting for her life. Daisha Forster, the woman who was set ablaze during a gas station confrontation in Westmoreland, has died. The latest developments in the case that sparked outrage across the island. Plus, justice handed down. Former Member of Parliament Julian Silveira sentenced for the killing of his wife, Melissa. What the court decided and the reaction from prosecutors tonight. And there's good news tonight. A story of hope after the storm. Long after Hurricane Melissa tore through St. Elizabeth, one Jamaican businessman kept returning to a small hill community. Not just with supplies, but with a mission. Tonight, how Jeffrey G.T. Thomas is changing lives one family at a time. Welcome or welcome back to Jamaica News Page tonight, news that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica. And we're powered by viewers just like you. Please click subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay connected. Thank you for joining us. Joan Morgan, Jamaica News Page tonight starts right now. We begin tonight with deadly confrontations involving police in Clarendon and Manchester, leaving 5 men dead in 2 separate incidents. 3 men were fatally shot during what investigators describe as a confrontation with a police team in Four Paths, Clarendon on Friday evening.
The reports so far indicate that the police team, they were in the area conducting operations when they signaled a grey Honda Fit with 4 men aboard to stop. The driver complied but came out pointing a weapon at the team, and in the same breath it is reported that the other occupants of the vehicle started to fire at the police party. They made evasive maneuvers and returned fire. When the shooting subsided, 3 men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The driver, it was reported, escaped on foot in the area. Those 3 men were taken to the Mapen Hospital, where they were later pronounced dead. The 4th man, who was identified as the driver, turned up with a gunshot wound to his hand.
The men who were killed have been identified as 26-year-old Michael Pinnock, otherwise called the Size 10, 35-year-old Dean Williams, also known as Sam or Crazy Block, and Rushane Lynch, otherwise called Juvenile or Courtney. Pinnock and Williams are from Swansea District in Osborne Store, while Lynch is from Old Harbour in St. Catherine. ACP Phillips says preliminary investigations suggest the men may have been in the community to carry out illegal activities.
We have started to gather information which is suggesting that these men were up to no good being in this community, and the police action might have prevented, serious or maybe multiple cases, maybe of shootings or murders within this community.
The incident brings to 54 the number of people who have died in alleged confrontations with the security forces since the start of the year. The police are again appealing to members of the public not to engage law enforcement in confrontations.
What I want the public to do is to trust the police. When sometimes we have to prevent an event from taking place, it simply means that we might have other intelligence or information that you're not aware of, and we're acting in your best interest. Again, I want to appeal to criminals out there, to desist from taking on the police.
Meanwhile, in a separate incident in Williamsfield, Manchester, 2 men were also fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with police on Thursday night. The identities of those men have not yet been released. Acting head of the Manchester Police, Deputy Superintendent Luhas Daniels, says the incident began around 8:45 p.m. Police reportedly signaled the driver of a vehicle to stop at the Williamsfield runabout. However, the driver allegedly refused and sped off, triggering a high-speed chase. Police say the occupants of the vehicle opened fire and a shootout followed along the Melrose Hill bypass. Two men were shot during the confrontation and later taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police say a pistol with 9 rounds of ammunition was recovered. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom is now probing those incidents. Developing tonight, the shock and sadness across Westmoreland following the death of a well-known businessman. The man has been identified as 45-year-old Craig Chang, a hardware store operator from South Sea Park in White House. Police say the incident happened around 11:15 Thursday night along the Belmont Main Road. Reports indicate that residents heard a loud explosion followed by a crashing sound, prompting them to alert the police. When officers arrived, they reportedly found a 2017 white Ford Everest motor vehicle off the roadway in bushes. Chang was seen seated inside the vehicle with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to his head. His licensed 9mm pistol, along with ammunition, was reportedly handed over to the police. He was taken to the Savanna-Lamar Public General Hospital, where he later died. Police say based on their observations, there were no signs of a struggle and no evidence of robbery, and foul play is not currently suspected. Residents and customers in the community have described Chong as a generous man who often helped people in need.
Certainly, it is a very sad situation. When we heard of Craig's passing, we were shocked, and we're still trying to come to grips with the reality that he's no longer here. And I first would like to extend condolences and our sympathies to his family, who must be grieving at this time and going through a lot of pain and suffering. Chamber of Commerce here in Westmoreland, not only are we saddened by his passing, but we can say that his passing would have left a void because he has built such a great relationship with so many persons here in Westmoreland ever since he came into the parish.
A hand-carved vegetable vendor who sells in front of the store, identifying himself as one Sparkle, described Chong as a father figure. I feel away. Me feel it like I'm a father. I'm telling you the truth. It's like he's my father and I'm his son. That's how I feel. He added that some workers came to the store on Friday morning but left after hearing the devastating news. Also developing tonight, the woman who was set on fire during a gas station confrontation in Westmoreland has died. Deja Forster, who suffered severe burns during the February 19th incident in Rithorn, passed away Friday at the Corner Regional Hospital. She had sustained third-degree burns over approximately 70% of her body. 30-year-old pump attendant Colette Swaby has since been charged with assault occasioning bodily harm. She's currently on bail and is scheduled to return to court April 16th. Police say investigations into the incident remain ongoing. In court news tonight, a woman who threw a substance on another inmate while both were in custody has been sentenced to 15 months in prison. Kilford Gilchrist pleaded guilty to assault occasioning bodily harm when she appeared before the parish court. The court heard that the attack occurred on October 31st, 2025, while both women were in custody. The substance reportedly caused severe discomfort and damage to the complainant's eyes. The presiding judge described the attack as violent and disturbing, stating that a custodial sentence was appropriate. Bradshaw remains in custody in connection with the 2023 murders of Tashina Patterson, 27, and 10-month-old Saraya Palwell, who was the daughter of People's National Party Member of Parliament Philip Palwell. Bradshaw, a former U.S. Navy officer who shares a child with Palwell, is charged with 2 counts each of capital murder, conspiracy to murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy to kidnapping. The child and her mother were reportedly abducted from their home on Gilmore Drive in St. Andrew on September 9, 2023. They were allegedly taken to East Kingston, shot and killed, and their bodies burned. Prosecutors have alleged that Bradshaw was the mastermind behind the killings. Meanwhile, former West Sydney Member of Parliament Julian Silvera has been sentenced to 20 years and 10 months in prison for the killing of his wife Melissa Silvera. Justice Brian Sykes handed down the sentence in the Supreme Court on Friday.
So, on respect of count one, sir, sentence is 20 years at a minimum. In terms of count two, we are at 20 years, 10 months, and that's the time for count two. September 29, 2023 is a significant date. It shows the value of proper processes. And it was the pathologist came along and said, what? No. We're going to deal with this differently now. It was her alertness. And based upon all the evidence, but for her alertness and professionalism, we wouldn't be here now.
Silvera pleaded guilty earlier this year to manslaughter and using a firearm to commit a felony. The sentences will run concurrently. Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson says she believes that justice has been served, despite public debate surrounding the case.
When we have a file and we read and prepare the file, we look at the law. And this decision was made based on law. We look at the law, we look at the material we have, we look at getting the witnesses to come to court and basically for them to be consistent in terms of what they said in their written statements. I think we made the right decision today. Where the law is concerned, where the statement that the accused man gave is concerned, it was glaringly obvious that he had the partial defense of provocation.
We are happy that justice was done, but we are a little bit unhappy. We thought that the aggravating factors would have been more than the mitigating factors, but it is what it is, and he definitely has to now recognize that he has to do the time for the crime that he has done. So all in all, we are happy with the length, but we could have been a little happier. We would have wanted the full 25 years. 25 years would have been where we would have been 100%.
Silvera's attorney, King's Counsel Peter Champagny, says an appeal is not currently being considered. And finally tonight, a story of hope in the hills of St. Elizabeth. Months after Hurricane Melissa tore through the small community of Springfield, destroying homes and scattering lives, one businessman refused to forget what he saw. Jeffrey G.T. Thomas, founder of GT Sound Limited, first visited the area delivering relief supplies. But one moment changed everything. Standing in the ruins of his home, one resident told him simply, "God is good. I still have life." Those words stayed with Thomas. Moved by the man's gratitude despite losing everything, he decided to do more than offer supplies. He began rebuilding, brick by brick, beam by beam. Thomas has already helped reconstruct 2 homes in the community, giving families not just shelter, but dignity and a fresh start. For Thomas, the mission is simple: help those who need it most. After 40 years in business, he says success means little if it doesn't change someone's life. And as he continues his work in Springfield, he says the greatest reward is a gratitude he sees every day, because sometimes rebuilding a home can also rebuild hope. Well done, GT. And that's the news on Jamaica News Page tonight. News that keeps you connected to what's happening across Jamaica. And we're powered by viewers just like you. We've got special rewards just for you. When you become a Jamaica News Page member, you'll unlock these special rewards you love, including a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments, shout outs for your birthday, anniversaries, other special moments, and just so much more. Joining is easy. Just click subscribe, then click join, and choose to become a FUI Star or FUI Elite member right now. That's it, simple and quick. A link to join has been posted in the comments. Please leave a comment so we can welcome you with a shout out. Thank you for joining us, Joan Morgan, and also thank you for watching Jamaica News Page tonight. We'll see you in the comments, and be sure to join us again for more news. From all of us here, good night.